Finally today, are you looking for a weekend activity? Well, News Center 7's Pat Kelly, Jake Putnam, and photographer Charlie Ellard say they have just the suggestion for you.
The high road to adventure often turns into a trail. On Mount Borah, it's a steep trail lined with shale. It makes for rough walking. I usually follow other people and do stories about their adventures, but in this instance, it's my day to do what I want to do. Street reporter Jake Putnam came along for the hike. He's a native Idahoan who's never bagged an Idaho summit, followed by Scott Smith, an economist from Washington, D.C., and an old friend of mine from college. News Center 7 photographer Charlie Ellard volunteered to take these pictures. He says he'll never volunteer to shoot for me again. You start out walking up on your hind legs like any big game animal. It seems like the uphill hike will never end. Over and over in my mind, I think about sayings like, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. After a few hours in the blistering sun, I hoped that the going would get easy or that I'd get smart and turn back to go fishing. Slowly we climb, onward and upward, to new heights. My legs feel like I've been walking forever, and I trained for this hike. Besides, you have to stay in shape to run the adventure beat. But running and adventure battled for last place on my list of good ideas during this hike. 3 or 4 people have been killed climbing Borah. That gives trips like this a special ambiance. After 7.5 hours, we reached the summit. Time to celebrate with a drink of water.
I was scared, but I didn't let anyone show it. I just hugged the earth and I just climbed. I tried not to think what was going on. I just did it, but I just can't believe it. Being up here is just incredible.
I left yesterday morning from Washington, D.C., and today I'm at 12,000 feet plus, and it's been a real challenge. The mountain itself is a real challenge, but that made it just a little bit worse. But it was exactly the type of challenge you want to have. I enjoyed clinging to the side of the rocks a lot. I haven't done anything like that in years.
You know, the whole thing reminds me of Aeschylus. I think he said that man was not meant for safe havens. And this isn't a safe haven. This is a thrill all the way up this thing.
Idaho's a nice state. I came out here last year for my trip too, and I backpacked for, about 10 days out in the White Cloud Mountains with some college friends, and it was absolutely wonderful, and it's nice to be out here again.
Yeah, the view from the top makes the hike up well worth the effort. Of course, my friends believed the big lie, that going down is easier than going up. After 6.5 hours of moaning every step of the way down, Jake, Scott, and Charlie decided to let me live, because now they really had a good story to tell everyone in the newsroom. But for me, it's just another adventure and another day in television news.
And they did have a lot of stories, but I think the one point that Jake wanted to make is that he'll leave that physical adventure reporting stuff to Pat. Pat's
Pat Kelly,
built for
the
it.
bigger guy, the big guy, right.
That's going to do it this afternoon. Dee Sarton will be here at 5 o'clock for you for Idaho at 5.
Have a great afternoon. We'll see you tomorrow.